don't really know what to do for this intro. I mean, I feel like the title kind of says it all. Good drawing Greely as a human. There we go. But I feel like I can't just get immediately into it, or else that would be like bad pacing or whatever. So first of all, I would like to apologize for the absolutely horrendous echo in this voiceover. This is the quietest room I was able to find for recording. I know it sounds like I'm trapped in a cave, but who knows, maybe I am and I'm just lying to you about being in a regular room. You don't know that. Second of all, these artworks are actually quite old. They're from last year, I believe. I was kind of randomly looking through all my artworks and found this file, and I was like, oh yeah, I was gonna make a video on it. Originally, in fact, this was supposed to be a video about human designs for Greely and Liza, but when I saw the artwork I did for Liza, it was so bad that I could not justify posting it. So this is just gonna be Greely for now, as kind of like a test of a different kind of video format. You know, see if people like it, see if people want more. I mean, if you do want me to do more alpha designs, please let me know, and I'll definitely also redesign my Greely along with that. So, without further ado, on to the speed paint. Greely. I don't really like him that much. I never had that absolutely obsessed with Greely phase that a lot of other longtime Animal Jam players seem to have. In terms of his human design, I feel like I, despite this being an old artwork, still kind of met the mark of where I was trying to go with it. I was trying to go for like a very ragged, beat up, kind of mysterious guy vibe, you know, because that's who he is in the game. Like, kind of like, he does good, but he doesn't want to work with like a system of people who do good because he thinks it's corrupted in some way. Greely has always struck me as an older guy. I feel like he's 40s minimum, and he's always never really seemed like a kind of guy who's like super muscular. I honestly would have, if I designed this now, would have made him even scrawnier. I don't know, I'm just especially looking at his original design. He just feels scrawny to me. I kind of made him more cool in the end of my design process, but in my heart, Greely is kind of a pathetic guy. He's just, I don't know, he's just always like disappearing, lacks communication skills. I don't know, this guy just isn't very cool to me. Sorry, Greely stans. In terms of design inspiration, I wanted to bring in elements from both his really early beta design, his Animal Jam Classic design, and his Animal Jam Play Wild design. Or at least I'm assuming that's what those designs are correlating to, but I think most of the inspiration ended up coming from the classic design because that's honestly just my favorite. I really don't like the updated designs for Play Wild. They are way too saturated for my tastes. I also just prefer the color palette of the old design. Like, just in general, even without saturation, it's a lot less blue. I think he's too blue in his new design. His face was honestly really easy to design. His animal features are pretty easy to translate into like a dude. He has a long face because he has a long snout. He's grumpy and has a big lower lip because that's what he has in his design. He has, I don't want to call it makeup because if I was Greely, I would call the stuff on his face war paint. And of course he has those giant eyebrows, which are pretty easy to incorporate into his design. The hairstyle was also kind of just like a freebie. I mean, like, I can just directly translate that over to his design. I did choose to include the red thing on his eye from the beta design just because I think it's cool. Also, I gave him some gray hairs to again show the fact that this guy is grandpa. Also, when he has a beard, there's a lot going on in his face. Coming up with the face for him was pretty easy, but his outfit is a different story. At least 50% because of my actual just skill issue with drawing bodies. His outfit was a challenge for me. There were some parts of it that were easy, like the cape and the arm bracelet things, but everything else I kind of just had to make up because he is not very clothed in his original design. His shirt, I ended up basing it off of the thing around his tail, and his pants, I just kind of put down a bunch of random stuff until I found something that didn't look too much like pajamas. It still looks like pajamas, but like not as much as it could. And the brace around his leg, I kind of just put it there because I thought, well, he probably gets injured and he probably doesn't seem like the kind of guy to want to get health care for his injuries, so he'd probably just have to come up with his own solution for his injuries. I also added a lot of patchworks because he seems like the kind of person who wouldn't be buying a lot of new garments, and I incorporated the patterns on his fur into his shirt. Now just touching on some final miscellaneous things about his design, I gave him fingerless gloves because I just felt like they kind of fit into the outfit, and I also decided to make him really, really pale because I want to say Mr. hides in the shadows all the time, probably doesn't get a lot of sunlight. In fact, considering he spends a lot of time in the Phantom Dimension specifically, and it's like an evil inverted version of Jama, I'd have to imagine that he gets a lot of like anti-sunlight, evil sunlight from like the evil phantom sun. And you know, if regular sunlight gives you vitamin D, evil sunlight probably sucks vitamin D out of you, so that's why he's like so pale and sickly looking. I also decided to give him a little thing on his waist that kind of represents his tail in some way, because I think it would be a shame to just completely exclude his tail, because I think it has a very interesting design. So this is the final design for how me, half a year ago, imagined human Greely. I could definitely do this a lot better now, but, you know, that's typically how art improvement works. I definitely will redo this one day if I ever decide to make more alpha redesigns, though. It was a pretty fun process designing him. Hi, this is the outro. I don't know how to do outros. I feel like in the average YouTube video, this is the part where the artist is like, support me by buying my merch, but I don't have any merch, so just support me by gifting me rares on Animal Jam, please.